And you came into work and you pulled it down to like your nose and said, "Is this normal?"
Yeah, I was going up to the bar going, "Can we just have glasses of milk?" Jarvis Day made my bum tingle as well because that was spicy twice.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast, episode 18. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how COVID has helped our business, how it's also made things shit, and how none of us really know what we're doing in this world of sanitiser, masks, and morons. We're also going to talk about how Robbie Knox made my mouth tingle, but not in a weird way.
He did make your mouth tingle.
He did. But
mine, actually.
Let's leave that till the end for clickbait. Okay. No, what do we call it? Earbait.
Oh, yeah, earbait.
Yeah.
Oh, that story, you're going to have to wait to hear that, aren't you?
So if you're watching this on social or on YouTube, write in the comments how you think he made my mouth tingle before you listen to that bit. And get ready for this video to be flagged. Cool.
So I don't know if it's an episode about COVID constantly, though.
No.
Let's not COVID it up.
Yeah, it's more, when we're kind of talking about this and what we could be discussing, it's more about, we talked before about, COVID's happened, what's the effect on business? But now it's more like, right, we're kind of in this, and it's not like, now we've got over it. It's just, it's the norm.
Yeah.
And so the things that actually have now changed and we're thinking of the norm. And there's some bits that are just, that's shitter than it used to be. And some bits like, this has actually really helped. And so, yeah.
Because with my sales hat on, I think...
Put it on.
I haven't got a hat.
Oh.
But anyway, with my imaginary sales hat on, I think, I know that COVID's actually, I think it's been beneficial for us. Which, in terms of business. Yeah. In terms of me, my responsibility of selling our services to customers. And the reason for that is to do with the pitches we're delivering. So pre-COVID, we would go through a process of a customer would approach us, we'd find out what they want to achieve, the creative team would put together a pitch looking at how we can help them, drive anywhere from 10 minutes to 5 hours away, wherever they are.
Because if we deem it to be worth it, we're like, Dan, stay in a hotel overnight, see you later.
Drive that far, deliver the pitch in person, which was really great because I think when you're face to face with someone, you build more rapport. It's easier to build a relationship up. I don't know what you think, Lloyd, but
I 100% agree, which is weird in this kind of conversation because you're alluding to the fact that it's kind of more efficient not doing that. But I still, like, the people I have the best business relationships and personal relationships with.
Met them face to face.
I met them face to face and multiple times.
Yeah.
I guess because it's the stuff in between the stuff that has to be discussed.
Yeah.
You know, you walk down with them to the car park, or you have lunch afterwards and talk about stuff that isn't important, but you get to know that it was their son's birthday rapport, and he dressed up as Gandalf. Or that's weird.
Exactly. So that pre-COVID, it was that meeting in person, building that rapport, presenting, and then winning some of those and delivering them. Now, when it was lockdown, we obviously weren't going anywhere. So pitches started being delivered virtually, which was really weird initially. But it's basically the same thing, but you do it on a Zoom call. And at first, I hated it and thought it was just rubbish because it's difficult to kind of build that rapport. It's more difficult to build a rapport up over Zoom. But now that we've got more used to this and it's normalised, we can deliver so many more pitches in such a small amount of time because we're not driving 5 hours away, taking 2 days out of the business to stay in a hotel, and it's all virtual. So the volume of pitch, I think it's not just to do with COVID. I think it's to do with us delivering better work and more people wanting to work with us. But we're delivering way more.
For any business, that's going to be beneficial, isn't it? If you think either you can just do more pitches, more kind of the sales stuff to potential opportunities, or you've just got more preparation time because you're not driving or you're not traveling somehow to somewhere 3 hours away. So you can put that 3 hours into preparing what you're going to communicate and make sure you do a good job.
And I also think, I'm not perfect in terms of being a salesperson, in terms of...
Every other way you are, obviously, but in terms of a salesperson.
But in terms of reading the situation, engaging if an opportunity, the chances of it happening and if it's a good fit, I don't always get it right. So sometimes you drive 5 hours and you pitch and you realise, oh, the person who's a key decision maker isn't involved, so this was not completely pointless. But whereas if you're delivering it virtually, it's quite a smooth process to think, oh, should we just set up another call when that person's here, or it's not going to work out for both of us, let's kind of...
Yeah. And I think it's not just a sales thing. So where in our business, I'm more, when we're delivering projects, liaising with the client, it's, to have a 20-minute Zoom call to catch up with them and communicate
way
stuff.
More efficient, isn't it?
It's so much more efficient, because as soon as you hang up, I can be on to the next thing. Whereas normally, end the meeting, again, walk down to the car park, say bye to 12 people, hour drive, then you feel a bit tired because you've been driving.
However, I don't know what you think, when, let's say the world becomes more normal at some point, and people do want to be delivering pitches face to face again, do you think we'll be in a worse position if we were to, say, deliver them virtually and other agencies were delivering them in person?
This is what I think is going to be really interesting. So I think a lot of people are down the end of, my whole work life is so much more efficient now, it's all on Zoom. So I want to continue down this route. So if someone's pitching something to me, I don't want them to come here and have to do small talk. Well, I want to just get into what we're here for. And I think some people are still very much the other end of, oh, can't wait till this is over so I can get back to normal. Yeah. So I think it's gonna, well, in the world we're in, where we're agency and we've got clients, I think we're not, in my eyes, we're gonna have to be passive in that decision. So I think whatever we think,
figuring out what the customer wants.
If the customer is going to really value you being there in front of them, it's likely that if you're pitching or trying to sell something to them or trying to build a relationship, they're going to do that better with whoever turns up in front of them rather than the Zoom call they have booked in the next day. Whereas I think, again, if people are more liking the Zoom call stuff, I think it could be detrimental if you say, "Can I get in the room with you?" Because it's kind of like, I think, well, I asked to do it on Zoom, and it's a bit
coughing on me. Yeah, I think my number one motivation is converting deals. That's the thing that completely drives everything I do in business. So whatever's going to be the best, I want to do that. So it's trying to read the room.
What do you think the balance will be? Do you think it's going to be very much go back the other way?
No, I think up until, for the next 6 to 12 months, it's still going to be maybe for the next 6 months, it's still going to be mainly how it is, I think.
Especially for the bigger businesses, because I think the larger corporate style business and large SMEs, they have more employees and have to think more about risk. So I've noticed the bigger businesses we work with are very much like, oh yeah, we've been told we're never back in the office for at least the next 6 months. Whereas some of the small businesses can make kind of quicker decisions and give people more freedom of choice, I think, more easily.
Because I actually still prefer face-to-face in terms of building relationships, but the main thing I like about the virtual stuff is the efficiency of the number of pitches you can deliver in the amount of time.
So if you could click your fingers and be there, you'd want to do it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's everything around that.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's part of us being like a regional business as well. We're the furthest, in case you don't know, guys, Knowlton, our agency, is basically the furthest southeast you can get in the UK. That little tiny point that points out to the... So we're there. I think if you're in the middle of a big city, you may have more clients that you can walk 5 minutes and be there. At the same time, in London, you could also spend an hour and a half to get somewhere else in London, and it'll be the same as us travelling there.
Well, this is what's in the Agencynomics book, which we kept going on about a while ago, which is a great book. Spencer Gallagher, that's his surname, isn't it?
I think so,
yeah. He and we were on his podcast a while ago.
Yeah.
He said that their strategy to grow their 300-person agency was to get an office in the hub of where everything was. So then there's all the new, like the small things of, oh, I'm just around the corner from you, let me pop in. Like we've got some clients who are very close to us, and it's been very beneficial for them, and I think that's even really helped us convert them as a client by saying, oh, by the way, we're literally 30 seconds walk.
Yeah.
So But I don't know. Do you think we're gonna? We haven't really spoken about like expanding offices in other places.
I've thought about it because my brain never stops thinking. And so from a business point of view, I do think it could be a positive thing to have a second office in and around London.
Yeah.
From a personal point of view, I would hate it.
Yeah.
So I think,
yeah,
you know, with running a business, we have to constantly balance. I think we could grow quicker having an office in London. But yeah, I'm thinking if we do that, at least
one of us will have to be up there.
When we open that office, at least 4 days a week, one of us is going to have to be there every day. And then you could tone that down to 3, maybe 2. But
I also think now isn't the time to be, if you don't need to be buying an office. I don't know, with like everyone potentially being told to work from home. Yeah. Just like it's interesting to see the Goat agency, Harry Hugo, they had a huge office in Finsbury Square. Is that what it was? In London?
Were they still in that one? I'm not sure if they were.
I can't remember. Maybe. One of those.
We've visited a couple of them along the way.
Yeah. And they've just gone completely not virtual, home based. So like there's how many, 100 and something of them. They all work from home. I think they invested some money to help them all.
I do think if we were completely based from home, I think I'd hate that.
I'd hate that as well.
As commuting to London.
Yeah. I'm really not a fan of working from home. I obviously tried it that once that we spoke about before and hated it, and came back in the office.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't get the same. It's the small conversations of, you know, you don't set up a Zoom call whilst you're two of your team are making coffee and you have a quick chat. You wouldn't set up a Zoom call to say random shit that leads to good ideas and things. Yeah.
So there's we've spoken about some good and bad bits, but there are interestingly, it's kind of strange how long this has gone on for, because there are relationships we've built with people that we've never seen in person or very rarely see in person, which is strange. And I know you had a handwritten note recently.
Oh yeah. So shout out to Kerry Gregory from Gemology Rock. Sorry. We helped her develop her strategy, and she sent a handwritten thank you note, and that literally made me feel so good. And it was obviously such a small thing, but I think like there's ways that you can still try and have an impact with other people without it being in person. Although I hate the idea of not being in person, but
that's a very personal thing though. Like, so you're sending a handwritten note. You could argue, you know, has a much bigger kind of relationship building thing than sending an email.
So why are we not sending handwritten notes to all our potential customers?
Don't know.
It's my responsibility.
It's your responsibility, the marketing of the business. Then.
No. It was more.
Do you want to tell the room why you failed?
It was more a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Why aren't we doing that?
I think there's a huge.
Well, actually, we are. We're sending our packages out, which is a.
I think there's a huge opportunity in post to potential client stuff.
Yeah, let's just spam everyone with loads of letters that don't.
So that's not what I'm saying. So you have to be very careful. I think if it's completely unpersonalized and let's send out 400 things, then I think it can become negative because you're just getting crap in the post. Yeah, I'm going to kind of disagree with you because I've got an example, something that happened to us. To leave it like I'm about to start an argument with you. Go ahead. You're wrong, but you know. So remember when we were in this office, I don't know if it's like a year ago, and we randomly got a piece of cheese sent in the post. Yes. And there was a note like saying, this is a bit of cheese for you, and it was like a witty sort of thing. Yeah. And then we were like, what's going on? And the following weeks, for about 5 weeks, we've got different bits of cheese. Just warm cheese, Yeah. We just got little bits of warm cheese just with notes. And then the final thing was a little bottle of red wine, and it was like, we're an IT company and we want to do your IT. And I was like, that's interesting, never going to work with you. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That wasn't personalised, and that was just sent over to... Was it not personalised? What? Well, it probably said to Knowlton. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying a mass thing of sending out... Cheese. Yeah, I understand, like, if you're listening, cheese senders, I think it was very creative and it got people talking. And you may have, if you got a positive return on it, good on you. But I'm saying more like there's value in me thinking of one person that I really like and sending them a handwritten note saying, oh, I like you because you're really cool and that.
Yeah.
And just wanted to send you something saying, thinking of you. But that sounds a bit too romantic. But I'm saying like ongoing things like that.
Hey Steve, the head of marketing at this company, I know I saw you went to the Arsenal game, but you didn't because you can't go, but I saw you like Arsenal and this is a thing like...
Yeah, but potentially not. I'm not even like trying to set up things like pretending I've got stuff in common.
Because you can see through that, can't you?
I'm saying like so someone on LinkedIn that's engaged with our stuff for 2 years and was always there. And if you think, oh, that guy's really cool, like he always does this.
Yeah.
Write it down and send it to him what you're actually thinking. Because he'll open up that card and go, that's so nice. I've been engaging with their stuff for 2 years and they're actually took the time to let me know that they really appreciate it.
How have you ever... in like a retail environment, has anyone ever provided you great customer service and then you've actively gone and told their manager or said that person or this person? Is that a kind of thing? Because I think not enough people do that.
I actually haven't done it in person. I've done it in reviews where I've named the person, hoping it has a positive effect on them somehow.
Sorry, that's just reminded me. Please tell the haircut story.
Oh. So, if you're watching this, I'm wearing a hat. And I like hats, but I'm actually wearing them every day at the moment because I went to get my hair cut. Went to a new barber's, walked in, filled out the track and trace stuff, my name and number and all that sort of thing. Had a haircut. Lady that cut my hair is really nice, really lovely. Walked out, got home and noticed there's just a huge chunk of long hair on the side of my head.
You came into work and you pulled it down to like your nose and said, "Is this normal?"
Yeah, you couldn't really do anything because I could like try and style the rest of my hair, but there was always this chunk there. So I actually left a negative review and I was honest in it. So I think I put 2 out of 5 stars on Google and just said, really lovely people, enjoyed my time there, but came back and got a huge chunk of hair still left on my head. So not a great haircut, and that's why I went. So
yeah.
And then I got a phone call from the owner saying,
so illegal,
saying, you've left us a negative review. We've been looking into who you are. I don't think you've been here. And I said, oh no, he didn't say it. He said, I didn't think you had been here. But then we looked through our track and trace information. We found your name and number, so we thought we'd call you and say. Not allowed, is it? I think if you take people's information to try and help the pandemic and track and trace, I don't think you can use it for your marketing and sales communication. So he's basically saying, just wanted to let you know we're really not happy, and you can just come back in and we'll sort it. You don't need to leave a negative review. And I tried to. It was a civil conversation, but I sort of said to him, that's still not a good service. So having to go in another time to have a chunk of hair cut off, that's still not a positive review.
Yeah.
Oh, I went back in and he did it the second time. Like you want to go, if you don't book a haircut and say, can you do half of it now and half of it later?
That would be very inefficient.
But he basically is a nice guy, wanted to make it better and that sort of thing. But yeah, don't use track and trace info to contact unhappy customers. I don't think if I wanted to, I could pursue that, Barbers, if you're listening. But I'm not a horrible person, so I won't.
I still want to. How did Robbie Knox make you tingle thing?
Oh,
are we at that yet?
Yeah. Should we go for that?
Yeah, let's go. For that.
As people listening go, oh, hurry up and tell us why you made your mouth tingle. Why did we put this in?
I can't remember. I don't know.
Oh, do you know why? Because we were talking about benefits of actually meeting people and stuff. Robbie Knox, like right at the start of the lockdown, I think we had as a virtual guest on the podcast. Yeah. So if you don't follow him, YouTuber, all round good guy, beer lover, gardening lover, my kind of guy. And he came on our podcast, but we'd never met him. And then we actually met him in person 3 or 4 weeks ago, I think now.
Well, that was maybe longer than that, was it? Before?
Okay, doesn't matter.
Yeah, anyway,
irrelevant. When you've listened to this, guys, hang on, we just need to work out for every listener exactly how long ago it was.
So if you listen to this on Tuesday.
Yeah, we met Robbie, had a lovely time, lots of beers, which was good. And then he ordered...
Before you get to this, because this happened before, do you remember when we were in that one pub and that random really drunk bloke just came over to us like, that just started...
Yeah.
That was really awkward.
And he tried to shake our hands at one point and we can't... we're already uncomfortable, you're so close to us. You're also strangely wearing a hoodie with nothing no t-shirt underneath it, which is worrying.
Sorry, that was just a fun experience.
Yeah, so that happened. Yeah. And then at the end, was just about to get a train home, and Robbie just ordered loads of food when he had a train like 5 minutes, which was, if you're listening, Robbie, strange decision, but I liked it.
And he ordered the hottest
they had these hot wings.
I think there was death in the name of them.
But you said, yeah, I've had them before, they're really nice.
No, I had them a few weeks before, and me and Leandro, my friend, had them, and they were just about bearable. But I think they did extra stuff to these ones that we had. It was the same.
It was basically Dan was saying, oh yeah, they're fine, they're really spicy, but they're all right. And me.
No, it's just about bearable.
Robbie, Dan, and
random guy that was there.
The guy that I can't remember your name. Ed. Who runs Cliffs in Clifton, a great coffee shop if you're visiting. All had one, and we were basically we didn't know what to do with ourselves.
Yeah.
We all must have looked like absolute idiots. They'd obviously thought, these guys have drunk loads of beers, all of this hot thing.
Yeah.
Because I was going up to the bar going, can we just have glasses of milk? Charge us what you want, glasses of milk. And I mean, the next...
Everyone was just dripping.
Yeah, and that's how Robbie Knox made my mouth tingle. But he also, the next day...
He missed his train as well, didn't he?
Yeah. Next day he made my bum tingle as well, because that was spicy twice.
Thanks, Robbie.
Yeah, thanks, Robbie, for that. Really appreciate you making me tingle.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we've given the ear bait away now.
Yeah,
so
there's
not
the
much
ear
more
bait
to listen to, is there?
Spicy hot wings. Wasn't anything special really, but I hope you enjoyed that.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Thanks, listeners. We're just a couple of business anchors. See you later.